Well, that breaks our 3-game shootout winning streak that dates all the way back to December of 2019. Remember 2019? Remember that far back? Because I don't. Now, I don't want to alarm anyone. Is your DeBrincat making too much noise all the time?
I haven't really prepared for this.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hawks Recap. My name is Clay. Thank you for tuning in. The Blackhawks have just completed their 8th game of the season. 2nd game against Nashville, back end of a back-to-back. And the Blackhawks, once again, tie and then lose. This time in the shootout, final score 2-1. Malcolm Subban got the start in the first game of this back-to-back, and he played really well, but usually goaltenders do not play both games of a back-to-back, and so Kevin Lankinen gets the start in this one, and he also played really well. And even though the Blackhawks lost both these games against the Nashville Predators, their goaltender gave them a chance to win in both games, and that's really all you can ask for, especially this year. In other lineup news, Lucas Wallmark got placed on the COVID protocol list, so that makes 3 Blackhawks players on that list: Alex DeBrincat, Adam Boqvist, and now Lucas Wallmark. Now, Wallmark was a healthy scratch in the last number of games, so this doesn't really affect the lineup all that much. With that said, the Blackhawks did decide to make kind of an interesting decision regarding their lineup for this game. They decided to go with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen instead of the typical 12 forwards and 6 defensemen. That's just usually how it works because that makes for even lines and pairings. But they decided to go with the extra defenseman, and that extra defenseman ended up being Nicholas Beaudin, and he replaces essentially Matthew Highmore, who got taken away from the offense. So considering the Blackhawks were down a forward for this game, they have 3 full lines and then kind of 2/3 of a line. That usually means that a player is going to be double shifting during the game. And usually for the Blackhawks, that means that role is going to Patrick Kane. And well, it did in this game, and he amounted a whopping 27 minutes of ice time. And it was pretty noticeable. He had a pretty good game. And the Blackhawks as a whole, for the most part, I thought had a much better game in this one than the first game last night of this back-to-back, even though the result was the same, and the Blackhawks did get outshot 42-30 in this game, and they got dominated at the face-off circle, and they got hemmed in their own zone for long stretches of the time. With all that said, the effort was still much better in this game, and it did lead to more scoring opportunities for the Hawks, but both goaltenders were on point in this game. This was a low-scoring affair, and we're just not used to seeing that from the Hawks. So it was kind of a little bit different type of game, a little bit frustrating at times, but also kind of promising in the same sense. Just like last night's game, the Blackhawks would get an early power play opportunity tonight, but unfortunately they would not find a way to convert. In fact, the Blackhawks, for the first time this season, would fail to score on a power play in a game. They went 0 for 4 tonight. It just didn't look good. Looked like they just couldn't get really anything going. Predators, credit to them, they seemed to be kind of sniffing out what the Blackhawks were doing, kind of picking off passes and really just kind of making it tough on the Hawks. Hopefully this is just a one-game thing and not the start of a serious regression. Other than that, the first period was pretty uneventful. Each team only had 5 shots on goal. Neither goalie really tested all that much. And so we go into the second period with this game tied at 0. The Hawks found themselves in some foul trouble early on in the second period, which gave the Predators momentum for this middle frame. Thankfully, the PK unit was up to the task, and the Predators went 0 for 4 on the power play as well tonight. But they still outshot the Hawks 14-10 in this middle period. Hawks did kind of make a push in the latter half of the second, thanks to a couple power plays of their own, but neither team was able to find the back of the net, both goaltenders standing tall. So we go into the third period, still tied at 0. This game had the feeling that next goal was going to win in this third period, and unfortunately the Predators were the ones that dominated that final frame of regulation. Once again, Blackhawks, these 2 games against the Predators, really had a tough time in their own zone, getting the puck out. Predators did a really good job on offense, pressuring the puck, winning races to loose pucks, and just taking away passing options for the Hawks to get clean breakouts. And that just led to the Hawks getting hemmed into their own zone for long periods of time, and it led to the Predators outshooting the Hawks 21-10. And it was one of those 21 Predators shots that would end up being the first goal of this game. Just about 5.5 minutes into the third period, the Blackhawks would turn the puck over in the neutral zone, trying to head into the offensive zone. Catches Calvin DeHaan by surprise. Nick Cousins picks up the puck, races by DeHaan, and is all alone one-on-one with Lankinen, and he beats him 5-hole, and it wasn't even close. I'm telling you, Lankinen's 5-hole was gaping there. Predators grab the 1-0 lead and seemingly a stranglehold on this game. The Blackhawks would get a power play shortly after that with a chance to tie this game, but couldn't get anything going. And to make matters worse, it almost led to the Predators scoring their second goal of the game. Forsberg comes out of the box, steals the puck from the defenseman, and takes it in for a breakaway. And I don't know how Lankinen saved it, but he did. Forsberg goes in, tries to do the Forsberg move where you move one way, and as the goalie kind of moves with you, you bring the puck back out and kind of tap it in around him. I don't know how Lankinen saved it. I honestly don't. It was a ridiculous save, but it ended up being a huge save in this game. Because shortly after that, the fourth line of the Blackhawks would end up generating a scoring opportunity. Brandon Hagel throws the puck towards the net where Carpenter is. Carpenter kind of tips it on net, gets saved, but he follows up his rebound and somehow finds a way to bat it into the back of the net to tie this game up at 1 and also give Brandon Hagel his first career NHL point. Neat. Both teams would have some scoring opportunities in the latter half of the third period, but ultimately these two teams would head into overtime for the second straight night. But unlike last night, it was the Blackhawks who had the better of the opportunities, who carried play for the most part in this overtime period. And I'm not really sure how the Blackhawks didn't find a way to win this game. A couple really good looks. Kane had a wide open one-time net opportunity. He hits the net 9 times out of 10, but missed the net this time. And then Janmark, who's had a really good last couple of games, had another great game, and this one generated a couple really good scoring opportunities, generates another one in overtime here, passes the puck towards the front of the net, hits off a defenseman's skate, hits the inside of the post, goes across the crease and out. I don't know how that didn't go in. Just unfortunate for the Hawks there, and this game ends up going to the shootout. Unfortunately for the Hawks, they're without Jonathan Toews and Kirby Dach and Alex DeBrincat, so their shooters for the shootout ended up being Dominic Kubalik, Patrick Kane, and Matthias Janmark, and well, none of them could figure out Juuse Saros. And unfortunately, despite Kevin Lankinen's really good game, Duchesne just made a really good move. Forehand, backhand, roof is what it is. Predators end up winning this game. So the Blackhawks end up getting 2 out of 4 points on this back-to-back against Nashville, and I will take 2 points in a back-to-back every single time. It's a little bit more disappointing when it's against a division foe, but honestly, can't really complain too much with the points in these two games. So now the Hawks head off to Columbus for the final 2 games of their road trip. Still not sure right now if Patrick Laine will be playing for his new team in these 2 games. As of this moment, I believe he's still dealing with work visa issues, but we'll just have to wait and see regarding that. This will be a tough test for the Hawks. Columbus is a good team, well-coached team, play a solid team game. They're, in my opinion, better team than the Predators, so Hawks are going to have to be on their game, but perhaps we can find a way to steal some points. And with that, I say thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that as always, but most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.